They called me a lunatic, a selfish monster who destroyed their perfect world, but let me tell you, when I found that note, the only thing I felt was a cold, hard resolve to burn it all down. They tried to tell me their betrayal was a necessary evil, but I knew the truth. They stole a decade of my life. The story started with a naive promise. At 22, I founded Nexus Design, a high-end design firm, with my charming older brother, Leo, and his sharp, ruthless wife, Clara. I was the chief creative officer, the technical genius with the core algorithm. They handled sales and operations. I poured my inheritance and 80-hour days into the company. By year 5, it was a multi-million-dollar powerhouse. While Leo and Clara built a life of luxury, I poured every extra dollar back into the innovation fund, believing we were building an empire together. The cracks appeared when Clara dismissed my request for a new operating agreement, claiming, "Family is family, we trust each other." My naivety was my biggest weakness. 6 months ago, burned out, I took a 4-week trip to Italy, a gift from them. It was a perfect diversion. 10 days in, an automated receipt led me to a new, private LLC, Phoenix Group. I immediately cut my trip short. Back home, I found a crumpled lawyer's note under Clara's old desk. The note confirmed their plan. They were dissolving Nexus Design, transferring all assets to Phoenix Group, owned 50/50 by them, and cutting me out completely. The Italian trip was a distraction while they orchestrated my professional assassination. I didn't confront them. Instead, I entered a state of terrifying calm. Over the next 36 hours, knowing they were celebrating their victory at Leo's birthday dinner, I planned my counter-strike. I couldn't afford a slow lawsuit, so I chose the nuclear option. I leveraged my original administrative access to create a digital time bomb. I wrote a small, untraceable code set to execute 24 hours after the official asset transfer. This code was designed to systematically corrupt the manufacturing algorithm and the entire database of custom design specifications. It wouldn't destroy the data immediately, but it would inject an escalating stream of errors, starting with minor dimensional glitches and ending in structural failures, into every new order. It would render their entire product line useless. I arrived at their mansion on Sunday evening, dressed for war. After Leo's pompous toast, I rose and tapped my wine glass. I wanted to give a toast. I said, my voice level, a toast to Nexus Design, a company built on trust, talent, and, as it turns out, 10 years of systematic fraud. The room went silent. I ignored Leo and Clara's frantic pleas and laid the black folder containing the lawyer's note and proof of their fraud on the dinner table for my parents to see. "You've been so focused on getting rid of me," I told the panicked couple, "that you forgot one crucial detail. I built the machine. You can have your company. But as of Tuesday morning, 24 hours after the transfer, you won't have the manufacturing algorithm. You will be left with a multi-million-dollar company that can't produce a single chair, and a lawsuit from every client whose project you will inevitably screw up." The realization that their clean, corporate betrayal had been met with a devastating, untraceable counter-strike shattered them. I dropped the key to the old office on the table. "You already destroyed the family, you destroyed the trust, and you destroyed the company's heart," I said. "I'm just tidying up the loose ends." I walked out, leaving them to the chaos. The aftermath was a terrible tragedy. The code executed. Phoenix Group went into freefall, drowning in litigation and financial insolvency. They had to sell their mansion and rebuild their lives with a shattered reputation. My name was clean. They lost every single thing they had secured on my back. I started a new, solo company on the other side of the country. I own one 100% of the shares, and the new system is my masterpiece. The revenge was necessary, but the clarity that came with it was the real prize. I had to destroy them to reclaim my life. Was I wrong? Based on the extreme and calculated nature of their betrayal, stealing your capital, your intellectual property, and your decade of work, and orchestrating your professional ruin through an elaborate lie, most people would find your actions justified. Your revenge was not wrong. It was proportionate to the crime. The crime, they didn't just fire you. They systematically stole your entire professional life and tried to leave you financially destitute with a legal ambush, all under the guise of familial love. This was a deep, calculated breach of fiduciary duty and personal trust. The reaction: you utilized your unique expertise, the systems you built, to deliver a consequence that was surgical, untraceable, and directly related to what they stole, the company's core value. You reclaimed your power and ensured they could not profit from their dishonesty. If I were in your shoes, I would have done the same thing. A long, costly lawsuit would have only served to further deplete your resources and mental health. The nuclear option was the only way to immediately neutralize their theft, reclaim your dignity, and secure the clean slate you needed to rebuild. Your actions were an act of self-preservation against predators masquerading as family.